How young is he?
Super young.
22.
Yeah. He's living on the edge. He don't know You see him?
Right.
He's a jolly idiot. They say ignorance is bliss. That motherfucker's a retard.
I don't do homewrecking. I'm not a side piece. I don't stand for any of those things. I support women, so I would never do that to another woman because I would never want that to me. So I ignored him.
Well, now,
Before the season could even take flight, Travis Hunter's world came crashing down in a way no one could have scripted. In the span of a single week, the headlines weren't about his highlight plays, his speed, or his rising stardom. They were about betrayal, scandal, and heartbreak. His wife, Lyanna Hunter, the woman he had stood beside, defended, and loved publicly, had blindsided him with the ultimate act of disloyalty. What should have been the off-season's calm turned into a nightmare when photos surfaced of Lyanna, not by Travis's side, but glowing in an engagement shoot with none other than his own teammate. The internet erupted instantly. Fans who once praised Travis's fairy tale marriage flooded timelines with disbelief, betrayal memes, and snake emojis. Sports networks ran the story in a loop, turning his personal life into breaking news. For Travis, the humiliation wasn't just private, it was global. What cut deepest wasn't just losing his wife, it was losing her to a man who shared the same locker room, the same colors, the same supposed brotherhood. The betrayal wasn't an accident. It was a direct hit to both his heart and his pride. And as the world feasted on the drama, Travis's silence spoke louder than words, an ominous calm before the storm that everyone knew was coming. The next morning, when Travis Hunter walked into the Jaguars facility, the air was thick, heavy, and tense, as if every teammate already knew the storm that was about to break. Heads turned, conversations cut short, and the room fell into an uneasy silence. Travis didn't stroll in like the star cornerback everyone admired. He stormed in like a man possessed, a hurricane with one destination. His eyes locked on the locker of the teammate who had stolen everything from him, and in that moment, the line between football and betrayal disappeared. He didn't ask for explanations. He didn't seek apologies. He demanded answers. His voice roared across the room, shaking the walls. "How long has this been going on?" The words pierced the air, silencing even the veterans who had seen 1,000 fights before. This wasn't just about infidelity. It was about the collapse of trust, of brotherhood, of the sacred bond between teammates. The confrontation turned, vicious, insults hurled like knives, fists nearly flying before coaches and players scrambled to separate them. Some teammates stared at the floor in shame, others whispered among themselves, all realizing that this betrayal wasn't just Travis's burden. It had shattered the very foundation of the team. And when Travis finally stormed out, slamming the door behind him, it wasn't just a dramatic exit. It was a declaration that the wound was deeper than football, deeper than marriage, and that the fallout had only just begun. By nightfall, Travis Hunter's silence shattered, not with a press conference, not with a statement, but with a raw, unfiltered Instagram live that felt less like content and more like a man breaking apart in real time. Hoodie pulled low, eyes shadowed, he sat, in front of the camera without speaking for nearly a full minute, the weight of betrayal heavy in every breath. When he finally did speak, it wasn't polished or planned, it was 5 chilling words. "You think you know people." The stream ended abruptly, but those words were enough to set the internet ablaze. Clips flooded Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube. Within minutes, fans dissecting his tone, his silence, even the tears he tried to hold back. Theories spread like wildfire. Was Lyanna already pregnant with the teammate's child? Had this affair been going on for months? Was Travis the last to know while the world had been catching hints all along? Suddenly, every past photo, every vague caption, every unexplained absence was dragged into the spotlight. Gossip blogs built timelines, YouTubers launched exposés, and podcasts turned his heartbreak into content. Even worse, Lyanna herself seemed to fan the flames. She posted a smiling video with Travis from weeks earlier, adopting a kitten, a clip that might have once been sweet but now felt staged, manipulative, and cruel. Fans flooded the comments with snake emojis, calling it damage control and gaslighting. Travis, in his pain, replied to one, calling the rumors crazy, but the damage was irreversible. Instead of sympathy, the internet turned his heartbreak into a spectacle, and every scroll on his phone was another knife twisting deeper. Alone in his spiral, Travis wasn't just losing his wife, he was losing his image, his trust in people, and the shield that fame had once given him. Now, the whole world was watching him break. Once Travis's heartbreak went viral, the internet didn't just watch. They dissected, analyzed, and obsessed, turning his private life into a full-blown investigation. Fans became amateur detectives. Overnight, digging through old posts, live streams, and blurry party photos, convinced the clues had been hiding in plain sight all along. And they found them. A resurfaced video from a Jaguars after-party showed Lyanna leaning a little too close to the same teammate now wearing her ring, her hand brushing his arm in a way that no one noticed back then. But now, slowed down and zoomed in, it looked damning. Screenshots of her Spa Day Instagram story revealed a Miami geotag on the same weekend the team was away, fueling rumors she'd been with him instead. Even her old Twitter likes resurfaced, cryptic posts about outgrowing people and new beginnings, now seen as red flags Travis had missed. One supposed friend even leaked DMs claiming Lyanna had complained about being second place to football, painting the picture of a woman who had already checked out of her marriage long before the scandal broke. Every new discovery spread like wildfire, feeding gossip blogs, YouTube channels, and TikTok detectives who pieced together their own betrayal timelines. For Travis, this wasn't just heartbreak, it was humiliation in high definition, his most private wounds dissected by strangers. And the cruelest twist? The narrative shifted from a shocking betrayal to how blind he must have been, with memes mocking him for missing obvious signs, while others painted him as a tragic figure who gave everything to football and lost everything else. By the time the digital autopsy was complete, Travis's story wasn't just news. It was entertainment, and he was no longer a rising star cornerback. He was a spectacle. The dust didn't settle. It erupted. Travis's silence became its own statement, a heavy quiet that only amplified the storm around him. Inside the Jaguars' locker room, loyalty lines were drawn like battlefields, with half the roster unfollowing Lyanna and the teammate, while the other half stayed neutral, terrified of being caught in the crossfire. Sports analysts began openly, speculating if Travis could even suit up again for Jacksonville, whispering about trades and fresh starts because how do you share a locker room with the man who shattered your home? Meanwhile, Lyanna leaned fully into her new chapter, posting glossy couple selfies and hinting at wedding dates, ignoring the tidal wave of snake emojis flooding her comments. For every fan hyping her boldness, 10 more blasted her as heartless. Then came the blind side. Travis's lawyer pushing for a paternity test, a move that sent gossip sites into meltdown. Suddenly, this wasn't just about betrayal. It was about legacy, money, and the future of a child who might or might not be his. At the same time, the league itself started feeling the ripples, with rival players openly liking tweets slamming the teammate, an unspoken but loud show of solidarity with Travis. By now, what started as whispers of a messy divorce had exploded into a saga that blurred the line between sports and soap opera. Every new development pouring gasoline on an already raging fire. And in the middle of it all, Travis Hunter, once a symbol of young talent on the rise, was now sitting in the dark, hoodie up, scrolling through the life he thought he built, now hijacked, monetized, and weaponized against him. The question wasn't whether he could recover as a player, it was whether he could survive as a man.